Kate Walker, who would become one of the most famous lighthouse keepers in the world, was born Katherine Gortler in Germany in 1846. She journeyed to America with a young son after her first husband died. In the early 1880s, she met John Walker, an assistant keeper at the Sandy Hook Light Station in New Jersey at the entrance to New York Harbor. Romance blossomed, and Kate and John were married.
He took me to that lighthouse as his bride. I enjoyed life there, for the light was on land, and we could have a garden and raise flowers.
Kate's world changed dramatically after her husband was appointed keeper at Robbins Reef Lighthouse off the northern tip of Staten Island in New York Harbor. Kate later described her reaction when she and John arrived at their new home.
The day we came, I said to him, "I can't stay here. The sight of water everywhere I look makes me too lonesome." I refused to unpack my trunks, but somehow they got unpacked.
Kate became her husband's official assistant, and she gradually grew accustomed to her new home in the harbor. In 1886, her husband died of pneumonia, and Kate was widowed for the second time at the age of 40. John's last words were, "Mind the light, Kate." She was appointed keeper of the lighthouse after her husband's death.
You have nature and the elements and the best company of all, the quiet. Oh, there were so many things at the lighthouse. It's so funny to hear people call it a lonely place.
Kate Walker stood barely 4'10" with her shoes on. Like so many celebrated keepers, she downplayed the difficulties and isolation of her unique post. When they were young, Kate rode her children, Jake and Mary, to Staten Island so they could attend school. At night, she had to wind the mechanism that rotated the lighthouse lens every 3 hours, so she napped during the afternoon. In winter, it wasn't unusual for Kate to spend the entire night in the lantern, making sure the glass stayed clear of frost. After drinking a cup of coffee delivered by her son at dawn, Kate would go to bed, unless, of course, foggy conditions necessitated the starting of the fog signal.
Even when I am off duty, I wake up every hour in the night to see if the light is all right. You get a thing like that on your mind. The light must be kept burning.
By her own account, Kate saved 50 people from drowning during her years at the lighthouse, but estimates by others range as high as 75. One of the most memorable rescues occurred on a winter night when a schooner crashed into the reef. Kate launched her small boat in heavy seas and rescued all 5 of the crew, bringing them into the lighthouse. When one of the men asked, "Where's Scotty?" Kate rushed back outside to rescue a small Scotty dog. She nursed the dog back to health for the next few days. In a 1909 interview, Kate told the New York Times,
"Maintaining this light is more work than running any household or any child."
Kate remained keeper until 1919. She died in 1931 at the age of 84 after a long illness. She will never be forgotten for the long years she served the mariners of New York Harbor, honoring her husband's last request.
We buried him on the mainland over there. Every morning when the sun comes up, I stand at the porthole and look toward his grave. Sometimes the hills are brown, sometimes they are green, sometimes they're white with snow, but always they bring a message from him. Something I heard him say more often than anything else. Just 3 words: mind the light.